From our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aishah Ashraf. Our top story for today: a federal judge in Florida has temporarily blocked the Justice Department from releasing Special Counsel Jack Smith's final report. This document relates to investigations into President-elect Donald Trump's handling of classified documents and efforts to overturn the 2020 election. The order of Judge Eileen Cannon, who was appointed by former Trump in his first term, follows a request from two Trump associates, Walt Nada and Carlos de Oliveira. The duo are facing charges in the classified documents case. The Justice Department is appealing Cannon's earlier dismissal of the case against Trump, now with the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. Cannon ruled that Attorney General Merrick Garland and DOJ officials must not release Smith's report or its drafts until the appeals court decides. Critics, including legal expert Barbara McQuaid, question Cannon's jurisdiction. They say the move is a delaying tactic to shield Trump until his new administration begins. Trump's lawyers argue that releasing the report would violate the Presidential Transition Act. Speaking Tuesday, Trump denied knowing Cannon personally, but called her brilliant. Observers believe the delay benefits Trump as he prepares to take office later this month. President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to quickly revoke outgoing President Joe Biden's ban on offshore oil and gas drilling. Trump told reporters in Florida he would reverse it immediately in vast areas on day one. He said, "We're going to be drilling in a lot of other locations, and the energy costs are going to come way down." His comments came one day after the 2024 election results were certified by Congress this week. Biden announced Monday that he is moving to ban new offshore oil and gas drilling along most U.S. coastlines. He said the action aims to protect the east and west coasts, the eastern Gulf of Mexico, and Alaska's northern Bering Sea from oil and natural gas drilling and its harm. The executive action will ban new oil and gas leasing across 625 million acres of U.S. ocean. President-elect Donald Trump has hinted at using military force to acquire the Panama Canal and Greenland, citing economic and national security needs. During a Mar-a-Lago press conference, he also proposed high-level tariffs to pressure Denmark into selling Greenland. Trump ruled out military action to annex Canada, favoring economic measures instead. He criticized trade deficits and defense costs with Canada, calling for an end to artificial borders. While avoiding specifics, he hinted at sanctions on Canada and Mexico. In another bold statement, Trump proposed renaming the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America, claiming it better represents U.S. interests. He insisted these measures are part of a golden age for America. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg has announced that Facebook will stop using third-party fact-checkers. Instead, it will adopt a community note system similar to Elon Musk's platform X. Critics warn that ending fact-checking could deepen and spread misinformation on the platform, similar to what they say has happened on X. Meta's Global Affairs Officer Joel Kaplan also backed the change. Kaplan, who is seen as friendly to President-elect Donald Trump, called it a move for more speech, fewer mistakes. He claimed Facebook often censors harmless content and acts too slowly. Meta says it will allow more civic content like posts on politics and elections. But critics are concerned. The Real Facebook Oversight Board called it pandering to the far right. It said claims of censorship are overblown and the move opens doors to propaganda. Meta is seeking government partnerships for AI while fighting an antitrust trial. Some view these changes as efforts to mend ties with Trump. Meta recently donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration fund. Zuckerberg has also visited Trump at Mar-a-Lago. President Joe Biden has banned steel sales to Japanese giant Nippon Steel. Japan's Foreign Minister Takeshi Iwaya hosted outgoing Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Tokyo for talks amid tensions over the decision to block the acquisitions of U.S. steel. Iwaya called Biden's move to block the $14.1 billion deal as perplexing and warned the U.S. of potential repercussions for bilateral trade. Nippon Steel Corp CEO Eiji Hashimoto also criticized Biden's decision to block the acquisition, calling it politically motivated. U.S. Taliban in secret talks over prisoner swap. Details come after the break. Stay tuned and we will be right back. Welcome back. The Biden administration is reportedly in secret negotiations with the Taliban for a prisoner swap. The deal could free 3 Americans held in Afghanistan in exchange for releasing a Guantanamo Bay detainee. Talks began in July and gained momentum in November when Washington proposed freeing Mohammed Rahim al-Afghani, an alleged aide to Osama bin Laden. In return, the Taliban would release George Glesman, Ryan Corbett, and Mahmoud Habibi, who have been detained since 2022. However, the Taliban denies holding Habibi. The Taliban has countered with a proposal to release Glesman and Corbett in exchange for Rahim and 2 other detainees. President Joe Biden has yet to make a decision, according to National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. The White House has confirmed the discussions, saying the safe return of Americans is a top priority. Rahim, who has been detained at Guantanamo since 2008, is considered a high-profile prisoner. The Pentagon claims he was a trusted associate of bin Laden, but Rahim denies the charges. Biden has also vowed to close Guantanamo Bay Prison. Earlier this week, 11 detainees were transferred to Oman, leaving 15 at the facility. Of these, some are eligible for transfer or review, while others face ongoing military proceedings. CNN is facing a defamation trial over claims aired in November 2021. These allege that U.S. Navy veteran Zachary Young exploited Afghans during the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan in August 2021. CNN segment featured claims of exorbitant evacuation fees, including $75,000 per vehicle and more than $14,000 per person. Anonymous sources claim these charges were unaffordable for most Afghans, intensifying accusations against Young. Young denies the accusations and says they harmed his reputation and business. Judge William Henry has ruled that Young did not act illegally or charge Afghans, countering CNN's portrayal of him as running a black market operation. CNN later issued a partial apology, but the court deemed it insufficient. The network has defended its reporting, saying it reflected Afghan concerns and claims Young was uncooperative. Young's team calls the case a push for media accountability. If CNN loses, punitive damages could follow, with financial disclosures from parent company Warner Bros. Discovery. Healthcare workers and allies rallied to demand the release of the director of Gamal Adwan Hospital, Dr. Hussam Abu Safia, and all healthcare workers in Israeli jails. Abu Safia was detained by Israeli forces along with others during a raid on the hospital on December 27th. Israel's unrelenting strikes on Gaza have killed at least 51 Palestinians in 24 hours, including infants, children, and women, the Palestinian Health Ministry reports. A deadly Tuesday night strike hit the Al-Mawasi so-called safe zone in Khan Yunis, killing displaced residents, including 7 children. Witnesses said the dead and injured were transported to Nasser Medical Hospital in western Khan Yunis using animal-drawn carts. In the West Bank, Israeli drone strikes in Tamun killed 3 Palestinians, including 2 children aged 9 and 10. Since October 2023, at least 847 Palestinians have been killed and more than 6,700 others injured by the Israeli army in the occupied West Bank. Meanwhile, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has demanded that Hamas release Israeli prisoners before his inauguration, warning of severe repercussions. Trump envoy Steve Witkoff, however, noted progress in Qatari-led ceasefire negotiations and is hopeful of an agreement by Trump's swearing in. Israel's genocide in Gaza has killed at least 45,936 Palestinians and wounded 109,274 since October 7, 2023. In November 2024, the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for war crimes and crimes against humanity in Gaza. Israel also faces a genocide case at the International Court of Justice for its deadly war on Gaza. Story number 11, Bangladeshi court. A Bangladeshi court has issued a second arrest warrant for former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who is now exiled in India. The latest charges accuse Hasina of orchestrating enforced disappearances during her 15-year rule. The International Crimes Tribunal also named 11 allies, including top security officials, demanding their court appearance by February 12th. Chief Prosecutor Tajul Islam alleged that forced disappearances were state-organized under Hasina's direct orders. The current government, led by Muhammad Yunus, vows justice for more than 1,500 killings and 22,000 injuries during the uprising that ousted Hasina last year. A previous warrant accused her of genocide during the same crisis. Hasina denies all allegations. Bangladesh has formally requested India to extradite her trial. Meanwhile, the Yunus government's inquiry commission confirmed her alleged involvement in these crimes against humanity. A Bangladeshi court has issued a second arrest warrant for former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who is now exiled in India. The latest charges accuse Hasina of orchestrating enforced disappearances during her 15-year rule. The International Crimes Tribunal also named 11 allies, including top security officials, demanding their court appearance by February 12th. Chief Prosecutor Tajul Islam alleged that forced disappearances were state-organized under Hasina's direct orders. The current government, led by Muhammad Yunus, vows justice for more than 1,500 killings and 22,000 injuries during the uprising that ousted Hasina last year. A previous warrant accused her of genocide during the same crisis. Hasina denies all allegations. Bangladesh has formally requested India to extradite her trial. Meanwhile, the Yunus government's inquiry commission confirmed her alleged involvement in these crimes against humanity. The Oxford Union has released footage of its November 2024 debate titled "This House Believes in an Independent State of Kashmir." The debate featured advocates for Kashmiri independence, including Dr. Muzammil Thakur and Professor Zafar Khan. They emphasized Kashmir's historical grievances against India, as well as its alleged human rights abuses against Kashmiris. Thakur argued that Kashmir's freedom struggle mirrors India's fight against British colonialism. He accused India of hypocrisy and referenced UN resolutions on self-determination. Thakur also highlighted ongoing militarization and claimed severe rights violations in the region. Indian Representative Prem Shankar Jha countered these claims, claiming that independence could lead to chaos. He cited global examples like Rwanda and argued for meaningful autonomy within India, a solution supported by public opinion polls. Amid civil war in Sudan, lawyer Suhenda Abdul Wahab has become a beacon of hope for displaced people. She leads a food aid initiative in the city of Omdurman and serving up to 10,000 meals and distributing 30,000 loaves of bread daily to families devastated by the conflict. The war between Sudan's military and rapid support forces since April 2023 has displaced more than 9 million people internally, with 3 million fleeing the country. Infrastructure, healthcare, and education are in ruins, and more than 20,000 people have died. Abdul Wahab's efforts, bolstered by social media donations, also extend support to soldiers under the unifying slogan, "One Army, One People." Her initiative has inspired nationwide solidarity, bringing vital relief to those enduring immense hardships. For displaced families like Wisal al-Hajj al-Mubarak, Abdul Wahab's work offers not just meals, but hope for a peaceful future and returning home. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.